Welcome everyone to another episode of Still Dope. I got to remember now, we're on video right now. Cheers, everybody. Happy Friday. It is the last Friday before Thanksgiving. And this is our last podcast of the season. We're going to take the month of December off for 2020. We're getting rid of 2020 and we bring it in 2021 with a bang. So why not end 2020 with a bang with our first video podcast? And y'all, we have got something spectacular for you today, or this evening, I should say. We have independent singer-songwriter Kim Tavar on our podcast. And if you guys listen to our Bodyguard podcast a couple of weeks ago, you'll know that we spoke with Dejan Roger Renrick, and he gave us all the tea with the industry. Well, he introduced us to Kim Tavar and was like, I think she'd be great for the podcast. She has several songs on the UK charts right now, the UK urban charts. I think she's at number 20 and 22 on the UK R&B charts. And she just released a few singles over here in the States. So we are excited to have her. So let's all toast up your drinks and let's give a warm welcome to Miss Kim Tavar. Welcome, child. Welcome.
But before she says anything,
yes,
even though you were doing the introduction and we were trying to do it blind, her picture was showing, and that picture is hot.
Is bomb.
Thank you. And then you look at this.
That is beautiful.
But that's all right. That's all right. Listen, we can clean up because listen, I was looking like a hot mess about 45 minutes ago with the hair up, and I was like, ooh, I gotta put some curl in it, and I gotta put some powder on my face and some lip gloss on.
Oh my goodness. Thank you guys.
But you look
so
fabulous.
Thank you. And what's so funny about that is, like, as we, women of, mature age, grown, it's like we know exactly what we need to do to get ready for whatever the occasion is.
Yes.
So I knew at 5, I had to do this at 6, and I was off of work. So I'm like, okay, I know what I'm going to do. Put my hair back, because that's my little classic thing I do.
There you go.
If you see it out, like in that picture, it's going to be for something like that.
That's
but
right.
I do, and this is great. So thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for being with us. And listen, for those of our followers in the New England area, as you're seeing Kim Tavar, she is a legend in New England, and she is about to blow up internationally and domestically throughout the United States. So we are honored to have her here. She obviously, she's a Boston police officer for those of y'all in New England area that know of her. And child, you just went viral. But yeah, phenomenal in itself. But you have been singing.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Yes, tell us about that. Tell us about that and how you got into the whole singing thing.
So for me, singing, that obviously that came first. So when I grew up with my brothers and sisters, they all had albums. Everyone had an album then, and I would sit there. They were older than me, and I would sit there and listen to the radio. And it's when we had the dial, right? So I would go up and down the dial because I've never taken any voice lessons. I don't know how to read music. I don't know what any note is. If someone was to tell me to sing in a C or whatever, I just don't know it. I just sing it by ear. So I would go up and down the dial listening to the radio. And no matter what song came on, I would sing and emulate that person. I don't care what type of genre it was. I would go up and down the dial. And then you'd get to the end, what Kiss 108 was, and then I'd go back all the way down, And so from there, I just started singing, and I knew that I always wanted to be a performer, either in acting or something with the arts. But growing up, we didn't have that much. My father made sure we had what we needed. I grew up in Duxbury, Massachusetts, and my father was a mechanic. My grandfather came over here. My great grandfather came over from Cape Verde, like in the early 1900s. So my family settled into Duxbury early 1900s. My great grandfather had a farm, so I knew what it was like to be home, to play in the yard. and to appreciate good music. So I would listen to Confunction and the Emotions, Earth, Wind and Fire, Stevie Wonder, the Supremes, all Motown, the 70s, just reading. And I would sit there and like read and look at the albums, and they had the lyrics inside. So when I became older, I became a police officer. And I said, you know what, this isn't going to stop me from doing what I love to do. So I implemented my music into being a police officer. It's community policing. That's what, Boston is all about. It's we want to reduce fear and, fight crime, but you still want to make sure that that person can look at you and like, man, she's just like me. Oh my goodness. Like I don't have to give up a dream of whatever I want to do because I have a day job. And I don't think anyone should. So, I've implemented that. I've sung at the Patriots game at Gillette Stadium, at Fenway Park. A few times I've been to DC to sing at the U.S. Capitol. I've shared stages with presidents, some of them that people don't like, but I've been there, and
do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do, and but it's just an honor for me. And also, I know right now, the police, it's not looking good, but not everyone is the same. And what I try to say with that is, I want people to look at me and to say, well, she has a dream and she's living that dream while she's still, taking care of her children and taking care of her family. So never give up on your dream, no matter what it is. And just because I didn't, have a song that was on the UK charts or any charts 20 years ago, I didn't give up. But I also never questioned God as like, why not me? Why not me? Of course, I felt like maybe I'm not good enough. But what it was is I came from that era where we appreciate good music, good lyrics. And you guys, I'm telling you, it's like, I want to bring back a story where you listen to it and you appreciate it. So that's why I still have to, I'm not making a lot of money singing yet, so I still have to go to my day job, but it's something that I'm living out my dream right now. And I want to thank you guys for having me on here.
Oh no, we thank you for being with us. And I have to give you a little bit of a shine because you did go viral recently with your rendition of America the Beautiful, and the fact that I saw it on Good Morning America and I almost fell out. I was just waking up, getting ready for work. And, they were talking about it and they were like, Boston police officer, Kim DeVares, and your partner, I think it was your partner, correct? That was singing
Stephen
it, or you
McNulty,
sang it. Yeah. And apparently Brad Paisley picked it up and loved it and had you open up for him, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So listen, let me tell you about that. So this is the other thing is when, you work with people, sometimes your peers will, you're singing and da-da-da-da, give that up. But a lot of the people I work with, they're so supportive. My commissioner, my boss that I work for. So 2018 it was, and we're always posting about, one less gun, or, we're posting these things, the bad things that happen in the city. There's so many good things that happen in the city. We're doing so much with the community. And my supervisor, he's like, you know what? This is when I first went to, I work in media relations now. So I was on the street for 17 years, working at District 4 in the South End. And 2 years ago, I went to work in the commissioner's office. So I worked with the media. And Stevie and I never sung together. We would sing at different events. Like if I wasn't available, he would do it, vice versa. So now we're in the same office. And my boss is like, it would be a great idea if you guys could just maybe sing something. So we did God Bless America for that one.
Mm-hmm.
And we were like trying to figure out all this, the ways to put this thing together. And, we're going to record it. And I'm like, no. We're not pre-recording anything, because already when people sing, even if it's their song, like Whitney Houston, greatest of all times, God rest her soul, Super Bowl, the best rendition of the Star Spangled Banner
ever. I think that should be like this country's literally default national anthem.
Right?
All
now,
day.
That was her singing, regardless if it was in the studio. That was her. But
Yeah.
people want to just tear you down just to tear you down. So I wasn't going to give anyone that opportunity. Come on, I'm already a woman, a Black woman, and I'm a Black woman in a uniform. So I already get beat down all the time. So I could take it. But I wasn't going to give you a reason to do it.
That's right.
I wasn't going to give you a reason. So I'm like, no, you know what we're going to do? I love a cappella. Like, let's just sing it and let's figure out how it goes. And we went in one day, on our day off, and we had our graphics department. They do a lot of the videos. He set up, we have some equipment that they hardly use. So he had like these, what do you call the little cameras that you stick up on, oh my God, GoPros. So he had GoPros.
Yeah.
So he set those up. They're GoPros, right? I almost forgot it myself.
Shad, you ain't. Oh,
okay, I know what you're talking about.
Girl.
Okay.
The GoPros. So he mounted them in the car, and what we did is we just started driving around and just singing. So he mic'd everything up, and he drove in the car behind us.
Mhm.
And because we tried to have him in the car with us, but you could see it on the camera. So we're driving around Boston, and we're just singing this song over and over again, over and over again. God bless America. And then we'd hit a pothole, and then we'd have to stop because
Oh yeah, you were full in range. You were like, God, ooh, oh.
But there,
Replay.
there's so many funny parts on there. Like there's a
Mhm.
whole blooper video to that.
Mhm.
But so we put that out on the July 2nd. It went viral. The news was all over it. Came in, we did an interview. We were on Inside Edition. We were all over the place at that point.
Yes, you were.
Now I was in Pennsylvania visiting my son and my family outside of Pittsburgh. That's another place I was raised in between. Duxbury was still Milltown of Midland, Pennsylvania.
Mhm.
So I'm over there, and it's the 4th of July, and Stevie texts me, and he's like, "Hey Kim, what are you doing August 11th?" I'm like, "Oh God, what are you getting me into?" And he's like, "Well, Brad Paisley wants to know if we want to sing at his concert." And I'm like, "Brad Paisley, not that Brad Paisley?" So I go to Twitter. This is all happening in the middle of like the 4th of July festivities, and I look, and he retweeted our performance and said, "When my show is in Boston, I want these 2 officers to come sing with me." We're like, "Oh my God." Over 10 million
Amazing.
views.
Wow.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So it
Amazing.
just shows some positive,
Yeah.
things that come from the police department.
have a concert
And
yet?
another shine. Go ahead.
Did he have his concert yet, or?
That was 2018, July 4th, and then
Okay,
he came in August. So we went right away, and there's a video out there of that as well, us singing with him. And you know what? The place was packed. It was at the Tweeter Center, Xfinity Center. I think
Oh
you
yes.
call it.
Yeah.
Mansfield?
Yeah.
Sold
In
out
Mansfield.
crowd.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Mansfield. And when I got on stage, it was like that's where I belonged. I was not nervous. It was just wonderful. I was like, this is what I need to be doing.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He's like, that was it. I'm so.
And And listen, we also have to commend you too, because in light of the George Floyd killing, cities across the country and internationally, the protests were just crazy. And at one point in Boston, there was a little bit of tension with folks at the headquarters of the Boston Police. And again, laying in my bed, folks, I'm not lazy. I just like my bed. Laying in my bed, I'm like watching the news, and Kim just literally single-handedly, like people were yelling and screaming, and single-handedly just comes out and just talks to the crowd, and everybody just calms down. And
wow.
it was literally what could have been a very tense situation. Because of you, I commend you for that. Because of you kind of eased that. And again,
I didn't know you saw that.
Oh, I saw that. I saw that. And I said to myself, I was like, again, representation matters. And when we as a people always see videos of cops that don't look like us, that are doing things harmful to people that look like us, it's refreshing that we can see someone that looks like us, that, can diffuse diffuse a tense situation and make things better, and everybody gets home safe. So I have to give you
Well, thank
applause to
you.
that one. You did a great job on
Thank you.
that.
I did not know you saw that. A lot of people don't, some
I
people
saw
don't
that.
agree with you. Some people don't agree with you,
Well-
but you know what? Again, that's like the Whitney Houston thing. They don't
Yeah.
agree with her either, but you do what
But
you gotta
again,
do.
listen, this is the country we live in. You can
Right.
respectfully agree to disagree, but if you can't respect that, then you
Yeah.
need to look at yourself. But
Exactly.
enough
Thank
about that. We've got to get into this singing career and songwriting career of yours, child. So I had an opportunity to listen to a little bit of your song, Hold On to Love, which you have 4 songs right now. Hold On to Love, Isaiah, which I believe Isaiah is currently.
That's the one that's blowing up.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the
Is it 20 or 22 on the
So-
UK?
I'm on 3 different charts. The UK soul chart was 22. Then there's a urban influencer. That's 22 out of 30. Then the urban influencer, I just made it in at 25.
Nice.
And the other one was 16. And I'm on like constant rotation for like one of the 20 most selected songs. Picked over 60 DJs that are playing my song. And the song was just released November 11th. So I'm very excited about that.
Impressive. So yeah,
Thank
so
you.
you have Hold On to Love, Isaiah, Ugly Soul, and I know that you're working on a new single, I Just Want to Love You. And I have to say, out of all the songs, I just heard a little snippet of I Just Want to Love You because I was on your Facebook and I heard the beat to it and I legit was
Me
like,
too, girl.
okay, I can't wait. And I'm a critic. I love music, so I'm not a bullshitter.
Yeah.
For real, like if I don't like it, I'm gonna be like,
Girl, thank you.
Okay.
Wait till you
I
hear
like the
rest.
beat, so I can't wait to hear the lyrics. But out of what I've heard so far between Hold On to Love, Isaiah, and Ugly Soul, all great songs, but Hold On to Love, that's my jam right there.
Oh my gosh.
That's my joint.
That one.
That's my joint. And I haven't even heard the whole song, but I tell you what, I heard about maybe a minute of the song and I kept playing it back, playing it back, playing it back, playing it back. That song that's the shit right there. I love that
Shahida,
song.
I'm gonna say this to y'all. Let me tell you something about those 2 songs. So now, so Hold On to Love. I have another song. So Hold On to Love and Tired Do You Hear Me Now. I have Keep It Moving. I have all these songs. You know when I did those songs? 2012 or 13. Now,
Wow.
let me tell you what happened with this. This is what I've been going through for all these years is I've done this before, putting this music out. Like, I've been around the music business for 25 years. I've been around people in the music business. What I do being me is like sometimes I don't want to ask people for things, but I realize a closed mouth doesn't get fed.
Exactly.
And as we get older, it's like, you know what? Just reach out. But now that we have the social media, I don't mind asking friends, hey, do you know so-and-so that may do this? Do you know so-and-so that may do that? So with those songs, I liked them back then and I would let people hear them or people in the music business hear them here. And, oh no, that sounds dated or I just got that about those 2 songs a couple months ago. No, those sound dated. Those aren't good.
And that's for professionals? Like
these are
professionals?
people who say they know professionals. They're from professionals. So you know what I said? You know what? I'm not going to change who I am because it doesn't sound like so-and-so's song or this one's song. I have to be true to me. And that's how I've been. I've never sold out for anything. I sing like me. I take my style from people that I love. I love Anita Baker, Babyface, Toni Braxton, Diana Ross, Whitney Houston, Aretha Franklin, Stevie Wonder. I love Luther Vandross. So, and James Taylor, I got to tell you that one too. But I take my style from these people, but I can only sound like me. Mm-hmm. So how I came about putting those back out is because now that Isaiah and Ugly Soul are on playlists in the UK, I don't want to give people too much, especially when I have new songs coming out. Right. So what I did instead is those songs have been out, but nobody was really looking for Kim Tavar then. Mm-hmm. So you guys didn't know about it. So I have to be smart, and you know, that with age comes wisdom, you know, and versatility. It's like, you know what? Let me give them something to show them. I'm writing all these songs. Nobody's writing any song for me. These are my lyrics. This is the way I feel. So now that you see Hold On to Love, so
I love that
my
song.
my son is rapping at the end of that song.
Oh, wow.
That's my son.
Okay.
Yeah, my son is rapping at the end of the song.
I love that song. When
It's going on the album. It's going on the album.
Thank you. Yeah, because when in speaking with Roger, he had sent me that little snippet, and I literally clicked it, and I texted him right back, and I was like, "Stop!" Like I'm like, why'd you send me like 45 seconds of the damn thing? I need the whole song. I'm like, I'm sitting here playing it back, and I'm jamming and jamming. He's like, well, you're gonna have to talk to her when it comes out and all that. I'm like,
no, it's out. That's the thing. That song has been out on Spotify or whatever since 2013, but nobody was looking for it.
oh well, I'm going to
But look
Spotify
how,
tonight.
but you see how, but another person said the same thing. They're like, Kim, that's matter of fact, the person who did the beats for me, Tony Lopes, he heard that song because I was going to get it redone. People would say, oh, you need to update that. It doesn't sound like it's new. It sounds old. Guess what he said, Kim? That song right there can go out just like it is. And guess what song is being played in the UK right now is Hold On to Love. Shahida, wait till you hear the lyrics to that. It's going to be like, I call it like my
Tanya, why did you
song.
send that to me?
It's not even the new song.
Sorry, it's not the new song.
It's not even the new song.
It is what it is.
You
My
already
bad.
Yeah.
Resend.
Yeah.
Well, it was via text. It was via text, so I didn't know how.
Okay.
You know, I'm old,
Yeah.
child. I don't know how to forward text. Can you forward
Yeah.
text? Don't know.
Yeah, I think you can.
Kim, let me ask you a question,
Yeah.
because you say that it is like, you know, kind of, some people thought it had like an older feel to it. Don't you feel now, and I think probably since the pandemic, that's what I hear more than anything now, more of like older music. I see people kind of like going back. I mean, of course, we still have like, you know, the romp and rhyme and
Yes.
stuff that we have, but I see people wanting to hear more kind of classic old R&B. I know I do, and I'm not a music fan.
It's you know what, Sheeta, it's more, I think, of a reset. So
Yeah.
it was almost, what can we really get our hands on now? I believe that we're going back to pretty much of the basics. Like, listen, these people that are already these, you know, these superstars or these multimillionaires or people who are on the radio left and right, and you know, whether they're good, whether they're not, it doesn't matter. They all had to do the same thing we're doing. People had to quarantine, no matter how much money you made, how much money you didn't make. So
Right.
now you were forced to be home and not out at a live show, or not, you know, not being on being interviewed on one of the late night shows or the daytime talk shows. That had to come to a stop. So now you're just almost regular, because when it comes down to it, we're all regular human beings. You know, we live and die. But I do believe that. And what I didn't realize is, and I think this is, things happen for a reason. And this is why I never question, you know, what God has in store for me, because I've been patient and I have never been selfish. And I've never, you know, been envious. Oh my God, how come I don't have that? And I was like, okay, you know what? No, I would want it, but it's not my time yet. And I think back in the 80s, because I was in a girl group in like the 90s, and I was in a top 40 band going from lounge to lounge all over New England. That's back when you could smoke like in the bars and stuff. And
Ooh,
I was
the good
going
old
there
days.
singing the good old days. And they
Love me the good old days.
And I was in there singing, and when you're singing, you're breathing in more, and it's like, you know, going home, hair smelling like smoke, but then you get up and go to work, because, you know, I was a single mom, so I was working a day job and then would do the band. And then I'm like, you know what, I did everything that I could possibly do, but I do believe that I wasn't supposed to make it or be this known back then when my kids were smaller, because there's no way I'd be able to survive in the music business. Right now, I'm like, come at me with anything. Like, I'm not some persuasive little child. You're not gonna come to me. So I feel as though this time is supposed to be for me, and I never knew And I'll tell you how my music got over to England and the power of prayer. I'm going to use that too. Is I never knew music was like this in the UK. They're listening. If you listen to any of the podcasts that they have, song after song after song is just soul and real R&B and just quality music.
Listen,
Even when you watch their TV shows, you hear our music
yes.
on their all of their productions.
Yep.
Oh, most definitely.
And when I went, I've only been to the UK once, and it was a long time ago. And I went in 1988, and my brother was in the military, and he was stationed over there. So I went to go visit him, and I was 19. Yeah, I think I was 19 at the time. And I have to tell you, I have never in my life, and yeah, still dope family that knows me knows that I like to party, I likes to do everything, but I have never in my life partied, and I was 19 because back then in the UK you can drink, you were legal at 16.
18.
I mean, it was 16 in 1988. Now it's like 18, 19. So I was 19 and I thought I was grown. And I was at the bars, at the clubs, buying my own drinks and partying. But when I tell you, the music was something that I had never experienced before in my life. Yeah. I mean, they were still listening to our soul artists here, but they had their own artists out there, white, black, whatever.
Yes.
And they were singing. And they were grooving. Like I go to clubs in Brixton, which is like, the black neighborhood in London. But you go into the clubs and there'd be like black folks, white folks, whatever, Chinese folks, just in there, just jamming.
Most definitely.
Well, look at Amy Winehouse and Adele and Duffy. All of those are influenced by black artists.
Most definitely. But the DJs there, they come in all shapes, sizes, and colors, and they're playing this music. If you get a chance to listen to one of the podcasts, but this is the other thing is, most of them are independent artists, meaning how do you know what's the best in the world if certain people make it, you're being fed so much stuff on the radio or stuff that you think is the best. And they're giving like these awards to some people that do deserve them, but then it's like, well, we don't really know if they're the best because there's other people out here that aren't being heard. And I'm not saying me, but when I hear myself played along with these other artists, I'm like, what am I doing on this thing? How is my song in between? And then there's a Charlie Wilson playing on this and Vivian Green over here. And now Babyface and was it LA or Babyface and L.A. Reid.
Yeah, L.A. Reid.
They're back on the charts, and I'm like, how is my name? Of course, they came in at number 4. I just came in at 22, but I'm like, well, shoot, my name's on there with them. Maybe they'll see my name because Babyface is my be all end all. If this James Taylor and Babyface, singer songwriters, produce my favorite of all times.
Yes.
James Taylor just retweeted or on Instagram my America the Beautiful of me singing in the stairwell.
I mean,
this
seriously,
was 2 weeks ago.
James Taylor is legendary.
Yes, I woke up. This is how I do because I'm just I know Facebook now. I know all the way around Facebook how to do this and find the inbox. Twitter, Instagram. I'm trying to figure my way out. I see the red dot sometime. I can't get rid of it. I lose my mind. And now I wake up and one morning I woke up and I'm like, no, I'm on the phone. You know how your phone tells you like somebody texts or whatever. And I see like James Taylor, but you have like, you might have a Kim Tavares fan club, James Taylor fan club, James Taylor 2, James Taylor 3. So I just disregarded it. So the next morning I'm like, why do I have all these notifications coming in? And then when I get to work, I look and I'm like, this ain't James Taylor. And I looked and it was his
the James Taylor.
James Taylor. So I had tagged him probably months ago, like during COVID. Yeah. And I reposted the America the Beautiful in the stairwell and they reposted it. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like now I just have to meet Babyface. I'm good. don't even care. I just want to write or do. So stars are aligning. I'm so appreciative of anyone who, like, for you guys to do this, like to ask me to do this, like I'm ready for it. I'm excited about it.
Please,
Blow
we
up,
are
girl.
all for this. We are all for this. And I have to say, because I know a lot of people within my family and people that are not in my family that know who you are. And I was not saying a word about having you on here because I was like, nope, I ain't saying nothing because, flip. I'm like, I'm just going to wait and I'm just going to be like, boom, here, we're going to be like, boom, here it is. And they're going to be like, I know my phone's going to blow up. They're like, how'd you get her? Never you mind. Business.
That's right.
I know people. We know people.
Right. Oh my goodness. This is great.
So,
I was like, okay.
Back to Babyface for a minute. He is my husband in my head. So
no, he's not. He's mine.
Just say, well, we can be sister wives because listen, I'll do the cooking and the cleaning, and you guys can do the songwriting and pay the mortgage.
Make the money.
That's right. Thank you.
And we can alternate weeks because I absolutely love
everything
Babyface. Everything. I have every one of his CDs, and I absolutely love him. So, girl. Oh yeah,
let's make this happen.
Let's make this happen because if you get down with him, I'm gonna be your stalker.
Listen, I don't mind.
The little bit that I have, your style just really complements his. So I can see you.
Listen,
collaborating with him one day.
When I write, it's about stories. Like listen to the songs. It's about things like you can relate to. It makes you like, man, I went through that, or gee, I know so-and-so that went through that. It's just for him. Oh my goodness. To even be in his presence, be in his presence, girl, but thank you. I appreciate that. Maybe I could be the female Babyface with Luther attached in there a little bit. I don't know.
Toni Braxton was everything when she was
everything. And she still got it. She still got it. I give it to her. She still got it.
But I still play her stuff from back in the day. That Toni Braxton,
that first album,
Toni, I still play it. It's always on.
I know replay. I know words inside and out. Oh my God! I can tell you what.
Yeah, it's very rare that I play anything recent.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be like really good, like recent artists that I like, but when I say I like them and I like their music that they're putting out now, that's not saying that in 30 years from now that I'm still gonna like it. See, that's the difference. You know what I mean? That's the difference between what I call a true artist and then just an artist of right now.
Right now.
You know what I mean? Like your song is good, i.e. her, i.e. Snow Allegra, but am I gonna listen to that in 10 years? Yeah. Probably not. But I'm still rocking to Whitney and Aretha and Gladys and Toni and Anita, all of them.
That's what I do
wonder about this generation. Like, what are they going to be listening to when they're driving their kids to
our shit?
Right. Hopefully,
our shit.
Because I mean, like you can't listen to WAP driving your kids to school.
But they know the words though, right? Like, what is going on?
All the damn words. Don't even get me started on that because I can't. I get disgusted. My blood pressure goes up.
But I'm just saying, it's like I feel like the type of music that you sing is a fallback music, because even us in the 80s, we still fell back to like some of the stuff that our parents were listening to. Gladys Knight, Tavares, remember that group?
Yeah.
You know, we fell back into them, and then so here we are falling back onto like the Whitneys and them.
Yes.
So what is this generation got?
Well, I want to. So this is maybe this is a change. I want to be the fallback now. Like you're listening to it now because it's making you think back of, okay, this is what I can listen to. This is what I can listen to that's inspirational. This is what I can listen to with my kids in the car. This is what I can relate to. Like
this
what
is what I
she's
can
saying.
listen to make babies.
Yes, you can.
Baby
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I'm just so excited about it because people, I just want to, first of all, not even like fame and all that. Like right here, if this was to end and no one knew after this is what I wanted, for my voice to be heard around the world, for my story to be told. The songs being played in Japan, Brazil, the DJs just all reach out to me. And this is why, like, for me at this point, I'm an independent artist. I'm not making any money. I don't have a manager. I'm not having one because I ain't making no money. If I go do a show for 200, how you gonna get $40? I mean, I don't, but my thing is so let me tell you how this happened. So during COVID, I know I can't help it.
I was gonna say, girl, you gave yourself a stretch by saving $40. I was gonna be like, you lucky if you make $1 after the management gets it. You lucky if you walk away with $1.50.
Now what I do, because with age comes wisdom, is I research a lot. I look into the music business. I know people. My family know people. I ask questions.
Mm-hmm.
I look things up if I need it. We don't have to go to encyclopedia and look stuff up. Everything's right there. And so when COVID happened, I was like, I know I want to do acting. I took acting classes with this director out in LA, one-on-one via like Zoom classes or whatever. His last movie was with Lawrence Fishburne, whatever. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do acting, maybe. But then the COVID thing happened and it went further than what it was.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? I want to be ready when this thing is over, just like everyone else is home now. This is my time to take classes, get some music ready to come out, and let's do this. And so I was doing like cover songs, posting them on my Facebook, and I'm like, I'm tired of doing cover songs. I want my own songs. Mm-hmm. So I posted something and people were like, oh, I love that, Kim. Like, what's your family and friends? They always say that. Oh, that's great. That's great. So Roger was on there one day. He's like, man, Kim, your stuff is pretty good. I said, well, what's up with the hookup? Because now I'm asking people. I'm older. I got to ask now, right? Because I'm on the downslope. And then he talked to me. I was like, listen, I said, I don't play instruments. I don't, I'm prepared. Like usually when you're a young artist, they'll have like this artist development and they'll teach you all these things. I don't need to be taught anything. I've been on stage. I can talk. I can do interviews. I am ready. All I need is a band and songs to do, So then he hooked me. I said, well, hook me with some musicians just in case when things open back up again and people come to town, I can, or if I needed to do a wedding and I need a keyboard player. Okay, I have a keyboard player. I'll go do the wedding, make money. But so then I was like, so I used to work those two songs that you heard, Hold On to Love, and my other songs, of course, I did those like 10 years ago. They were done by Gordon Worthy. Now, Gordon Worthy was like the musician for like back when Larry Wu and Maurice Starr were around. Great musicians. So when I worked with him back in 2010, 2013, he had a library of music and I told him the style of music that I liked. It was Babyface, and he would send me songs. And when I listened to a song, if it really has to speak to me, if not, then I'll get another song. So, and I'm a ballad person. So Hold On to Love was a little bit more for me to write because it had a little bit more of a groove. So he did the music for that and I wrote the lyrics. So now Roger's like, well, I said, well, do you know anyone that does music? And he said, well, he knows someone who does beats or whatever. I said, well, I'll take that. And usually people will do beats for like rappers. They're just like songs that sometimes they don't have like how we like the beginning where the music comes in and the verse and then the chorus and then the verse and then the bridge and all that. So Tony Lopes, great producer. Tony Lopes beats and production, I think he does. So Roger gave me his number or email, and then him and I just started going back. I said, send me some music. And he was sending me stuff, and it was like fast stuff. I was like, oh no. I said, I need something that's a little bit more R&B-ish soul. And when I heard Isaiah, that was probably like April or May. And then I was trying to write. So I came up with that, you answer my prayer. So I'm sitting in my room writing.
Really?
And I'm writing stories.
I wish I could do that. I want to do that too.
I can't do anything.
So now Tony's sending me all kinds of songs, and I said, okay, let me just pick. And then another guy sent me some music to write to. So I'm writing the song, And I'm thinking about like rough times that I've had in my life or people have had. And, you know, you make it through and you think you're like swimming, you're going to drown, but, you know, you make it out of that. Or people drag you through the coals and, you know, talk about you, jealousy, envy, or whatever it is. And it's like going through the fire, but you don't get burned, right? So I'm
Mhm.
trying to figure out, because with me, like Babyface, it's my thing is how it's the story is told, how my melody goes, and how I'm going to work my way from the beginning and to tie everything together. But I want to make sure the phrasing is right. I don't want to just
Yeah.
put things in it. So I said, wait a minute, what am I trying to say here? There's got to be a way to say this. So I swear I go onto good old Google and I put in what I'm saying, like through fires, whatever. And it brings me to Isaiah 43:2 of the Bible.
Wow.
And that's where it says, I don't know the whole passage because I'm not like a Bible person. That's because I didn't know. But it says when he'll watch over you when you go through rough waters, you will not be drowned. You won't drown. And when you go through the fire, you will not be burned. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm writing this. So the song was supposed to be called All of Your Lifetime, because I say that a few times in there.
Mhm.
I changed the song to Isaiah. So if you listen to the song, Isaiah is not even mentioned anywhere
In the
in
song,
there.
yeah.
The name isn't there, but
Mhm.
that's the inspiration behind it. So it could be a crossover for now it's being played on UK Soul. That could be a gospel song because it's inspiration. Because I am talking about God, you know.
Yeah.
We go through times he's there. We're blessed to lay
Mhm.
down, sleep, and wake again
Wow.
all of your lifetime. So that's how I came up with the name Isaiah for that. So Tony Lopes did the music for that, and I wrote the song. And then the other song, Ugly Soul, just around that time, Andre Divine, Andre DeVos. He goes by Andre
I
Divine.
know of him, yes.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know
Andre
him
goes by
personally,
Andre
but I know
Divine.
he is. Look here,
Yeah.
Massachusetts is so
It's
small.
so small.
Listen,
Especially
folks,
music.
everybody knows everybody. Everybody, drop a name,
So,
know it.
yeah. So again, it's like, please, like I'm independent. Just give me a name. I'm not going to embarrass you. I'm going to do the work. That don't be, how you gonna give that girl my name? How you gonna send her? No, just give me, I'll do the work and get it
Right.
done. So Andre had said, Kim, how's your writing skills? I was like, well, I think I'm pretty good. Because now I'm thinking back at Hold On to Love and all those. And I'm like, I can do it. Send me some stuff. So he sent me the same thing. And when I heard Ugly Soul, you know, as soon as you hear the music, if it's for you. So I came up with Ugly Soul. And I'm thinking, Ugly Soul, I did finish that first, like in September. Then I finished Isaiah. I thought Ugly Soul was, woo, yes, this is it. And now here comes Isaiah. But they're both on the playlist. And I'm like, this is ridiculous. This is what I've been waiting for. Yes, it
That's
is.
amazing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's your time. Listen, I have to ask you this because, still dope. We are women of a certain age. We're in
Mhm.
our 50s. And you being a woman of a certain age, how is it? And we know you've been in this business for over 25 years, but how is it being who you are now? Getting on these charts and I mean, how's that game? Like being the age that you are I'm
Yeah.
sure that people are reaching out to you and people want to like do things for you and kind of get you on, what have you.
Yeah.
How does that work? Like they can't necessarily run that game to you
No, it's
as
not.
you are now, as if you were
Exactly.
Kim Tavar 25 years ago.
25 years ago. And that's a great question because for me, luckily in our genes, we black don't crack.
Black don't crack.
So
I'll drink to that.
Drink to that. My drink's over there, by the way. But I can't do that. I can't leave y'all hanging like that.
I was gonna say you better reach
right.
in. Come on now, that would not be right. No.
So
Amen.
for me, I still have that young energy in me, but I have that mentality of I've been through it all. I've been a single mother. There's not too much you can get me with. I'm a black woman, been that all my life. and a police officer. So
And a police
there's nothing,
officer.
yeah. So you can't come at me with, and I research a lot and I've been around. I know people that know people, and doesn't matter if this person knows that person. That doesn't mean that person can do anything for me, but if you have the connection, that's fine. That's like when you say somebody moves to town, one of your family, and you work at a job, you can give them their name for human resources, so because everything's online now. So say your family comes to town and they're like, well, can you put in a good word for me? I said, well, I'll tell the supervisor, can they just bring you in for the interview? It's up to you to get the interview. I can't make them give you the job.
That's
So
right.
so for me in this business right now, I come into it with the knowledge of knowing what real music is like, the versatility of being the woman that I am, for my kids to be grown, for me to be in a job where they support me, where if I needed to take time off, I could take time off to tour. I have days I can use vacation. I have personal. So I am in charge of me. So at this point, if it was a younger me, I would think at this point, people coming at me. So I'm my own manager. I'm my own promoter. I'm my own hairstylist sometimes. Sometimes I got to do my own makeup. I'm the one paying for studio time. I'm paying for the pictures. I'm paying for the video. I'm paying for the makeup artist when I go get it done. Paying for the hair to get done because Jason ain't here. And and wardrobe, I got to do what I do for that. So right now, the best thing is I'm a people person and I want you
Yeah.
to talk to me. And right now, I stay on that Twitter and I look at my notifications because people are contacting me, and the thing is, I want to be that person in between, because if anyone drops the ball on anything scheduling that I have, or somebody wants to meet with me and you think, no, Kim can't do that, let me decide that. So right now, I don't need any management or anything right now because I'm not making anything.
Right.
But I just want the help of my friends and my family to trust in me and to believe in me that Kim's gonna do this. And my thing is, I'm grateful. Like I'm grateful for my job, but I'm ready to be out of the uniform and to do this full time. But I can manage. Like I said, I was a single mother. I can juggle. Like I juggle bills. I know how to juggle this, juggle babysitter, juggle this song. Make sure I got to go to work 70 hours this week, but still have to go write songs and go to the studio. I'm ready for this. So I think I bring that youth, um,
Yeah.
that sunshine and that brightness to everything, but still can be, you ain't gonna fool me right there with that one. And if I don't get it, then I'll just move on to something else. I will never
Yeah.
sell myself out.
When I
Tree?
listen to you, what I hear when I listen to you speak, the difference between a younger artist, there's no desperation in you. That's
right.
one.
Yeah.
Right.
I hear the confidence that you usually only get with age.
Yes.
And that maturity. So you are in that right spot because you can't be disappointed. You can only go up.
Right. That's right.
And that's
That is
what I
right.
hear, listening to you. And it's very inspirational because a lot of times we think, well, the number, our age number qualifies who we are. When it is, you said you still feel young, you still think young, but then you have the benefit of that number and maturity.
That's right.
So
yes,
you got it.
Girl,
And,
you
oh
do
my
have
goodness.
it. And you're like a quadruple threat, police officer,
Well-
manager, singer, songwriter. So let me
And
ask you
actor.
this. Oh, and actor, yes. Yes. So let me ask you this. Songwriting is very difficult. I mean, I'm not that person. I'm not that creative. I talk a good game, but I can't write shit. But being a songwriter, have you ever thought about, or maybe you have, or maybe this has happened, but have you ever written songs or sold songs to other artists that are out there right now?
Well, that's a good question, Tanya, because that's another thing that I want to do. So even for my songs, I'm I don't need to be in front of anything. I don't need to be in the front of my name. my name can be in the credits as a writer, but I don't need to be on that album cover or CD cover or whatever they have now, or I don't need to be the one in front of anything. My writing credits, like if Mary J. Blige or Tony Braxton or Babyface, they saw "Hold On to Love." Oh, is my phone about to die? Better not. Oh, better not. Shoot. Oh, you sure going. I had this thing charged and everything. But if they wanted my song, use my song. I'm not selling my song. You use it, I get the writing credits. That's all I
Absolutely.
want. I'm not trying to be the one that's out front. If somebody hears that song that I just wrote, now mind you, what I do is I do register my songs and copyright them. So that's why it's okay for it to be shared. But I don't mind that. No, the songs don't have to be for me. It's easier to write for me because I'm writing a story of like what I know.
Right.
I can write to anything. Now you can give me anything, I'll write it, but I don't want to write anything.
Mhm.
You can give me music. I just make up stuff, but I can't do that because my name's going to be on it.
Right.
So
That's great, because I mean, a lot of people, because when you think about the music industry, like everybody wants to be in front of the camera. Everybody wants to have their own album, their own tour, what have you. But a lot of people don't realize that the writers, like you write a
money.
song,
Yeah.
that is very lucrative. If you
Yes.
write, you could write one, maybe two, maybe three really banging ass hits that are out there. I mean,
Girl,
you're
checks will come in the
pretty much-
mail.
them checks are coming like
Forever.
all the
Yeah.
time, forever. So I have, because I have friends and other family members that want to get in this game, and they really can't sing that well. But they and I am that family member that I'll be like, nah, baby, no, baby, keep to your writing. You're a great writer. Maybe you'll make some money and millions of dollars in that writing game, but not as an artist.
But you have to put in the work. So I can't sit back and expect people to do the work for me. Like once you give me the name of the person I'm supposed to connect with, it's up to me to connect with that person. And when they give me a song, to write to it. Otherwise, that person will be like, well, this is a waste of my time. It's up to me to find out how you distribute music. Find out, how am I going to do the release date? What am I going to do? Am I going to do a video yet? And how many songs should I put out at once? It's up to me to get into the studio, get it done. Figure out how I want the melody to go. If there's going to be any harmony or background, that's me doing that. So
yeah.
I don't know. I just I hope my phone doesn't die. I'm scared to even look at it.
Don't die on a phone. But listen, I get it. I don't want your phone to die, and we're coming up on this hour mark, but I just want folks to know that you are going to be hopefully working on your album, and it's called My Story.
My Story.
So we can't wait for that to come out, and we are going to promote it till the cows come
Thank
home.
you.
But before we let this end, child, we cannot have you on our podcast, our final podcast of 2020, without giving us a little something.
Let's see.
Something.
And you
Let me see what I got.
Check that percentage on your phone first, because I don't want it to die.
How do I just press this right here and look and see what I got? Hold on.
Just give us that beautiful face of yours on that Kim.
Oh shoot! How do I go back?
Tavar.
Okay, are we there?
Yes.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, let's do a little bit of this. Let me see if you can hear the music. We'll give you this one because that's the only one I could find the So this is Isaiah. So this is how I got the music. So I'm just tell you. And then I came up. Just when you think that no one cares, he's there, right there. That's the background. For all of your lifetime, we're blessed to lay down, sleep, and wake again. He's there. For all of your lifetime, I cry out to you, and you answer. No matter time, day or night, it doesn't matter. And here's that part right here. I swim through rough waters, no river swept me. Been dug through the coals, no fire burned me. And then it goes back. Just when you think that no one cares, he's there. For all of your lifetime. So that was going to be the name for all of your lifetime until I figured out what I was writing. Thank you.
Beautiful,
and that's how
beautiful
That's
voice.
beautiful.
Thank
Beautiful.
You.
I mean, when
And
you
you know,
somebody
not
sing-
too many artists can be like, will be like, hey, give us a little something, something. They'll be
Yeah,
Well,
like,
I know it didn't sound
yeah,
that
no.
good, but
No,
But see, I
No,
know-
you sound really good. And drinking a drink too, girl. Hey, I'll
Thank
drink
you.
to that.
And the other thing is,
Wait,
when
Kim, I
do-
just
Oh, go ahead.
no. Oh no, go ahead, finish.
No, say what you're gonna say. Because
No, I was gonna say you have a beautiful voice, but you have such a beautiful spirit.
Yes.
Thank you.
Really enjoy.
Yes.
Thank
really
you. Thank you.
Shahida, I think we've got ourselves a new bestie.
No problem.
Love her. Yes.
Oh my God. So I
Yes.
just want to, so when I write, it's like, it talks to me. The music tells me what it's supposed to say. And I know that is a gift. Like when you say it's music, it's hard to write something. To me, it's not hard because the music is coming and telling me what it's supposed to say. And that's what I was writing. I'm like, so I know it's coming through, it's a God-given gift to
Mhm.
be able to make these things come to life like it is. And I do want to tell you this timeline really quick before. So when like on October 22nd, a friend of mine on Facebook knew some of my music. He inboxes me and he says, Kim, he's like, he was in music a long time ago. And he said, Kim, I have some friends who are DJs over in the UK. And I'm like, DJs? I'm like, what do they do? Weddings and stuff? Because I don't know what I'm thinking. DJs
Oh
do
no!
weddings.
In the
Right.
UK, them DJs are
Didn't
nothing nice.
know. So
Yeah.
I told him, I said, go right ahead. So he's like, okay, get me just a snippet of what it is. And so I said, well, let me just send you the 2 MP3s of Ugly Soul and Isaiah, because they're already copywritten. I'm not worried. I said, I need all the promotion I can get. The songs aren't coming out until November 11th. So, and I got the timeline here. So listen, so October 22nd, he wants the songs. Now my son's grandmother, who's like my family, since I was younger, even though her son and I are together, this lady is a saint. When you have a saint that prays for you, people will pray for you, but when you have a saint that prays for you, she was like, Kim, she's like, first of all, she wanted to make sure I got Isaiah right, because he wasn't in the Bible. She was wanting to make sure I knew what I was talking about. I said, no, I said, I need Isaiah. I was
Gotta
talking
love
about
it.
God.
Gotta love it.
I said, oh, she said, okay. But then she just prayed with me. I never forget. I was at my job on my break. I was in my car and she's praying for me that, Lord, Kim's been working so hard at this, and, let her voice be heard around the world. And, Kim, keep doing what you're doing. That was on the 22nd, right? The 25th, mind you, I send Don Brown the 2 songs. He sends them to Europe to 2, I'm going to say their names, to two DJs, Mark Murray from Starpoint Radio,
Mhm.
and Roger Williams. They played the song and gave it to Steve Agasol from Starpoint Radio. The next morning I get up on the 26th, I'm going to Five Below to get a cover for my new phone, right? I'm like, why am I getting all
Five
these?
Below.
Why?
I can't believe you with Five Below right now.
I was going to get a cover for my phone. But I remember these things. I remember these things vividly, like it happens. And I'm like, what? Just like the James Taylor thing. I'm like, why am I getting all these notifications? What? They played it. Don Brown sent me the messages. This is a tune right here. This is a must have. They played it. All these DJs now are contacting me. I'm doing radio drops. The song is all over the place. This is on a Tuesday, the 26th. That Saturday, which was only a couple weeks ago, my song was like an add-on into the urban influencer charts. It was being played, and they were playing Ugly Soul. So the song wasn't even out, and that's how it all happened. So that's why I look for my friends to, like, if you want to help me out, just send it. I'll do the rest. Just do what you can do, and I'm grateful and
Absolutely.
I'm thankful. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And this is my first interview. It's my first interview. So
And it's, listen,
That is
it's cheers to that. It's your first interview and it's our last podcast of 2020,
Right.
Shahida.
wow.
Want to go out with this one?
That's going out on a bang for us.
How about
Yes.
this one? Have yourself a merry little Christmas. May your heart be light. From now on, our troubles will be out of sight. Thank you.
I just listen, Kim. I just put my little Jermaine Jackson, because you know we all grew up on that Jackson 5 Christmas album,
Most
which
definitely.
is the best Christmas album
Yes,
ever.
This has been so
that
much
was beautiful.
fun.
Yes.
So much fun.
And listen, Kim, we are going to have you back
Okay.
in 2021 for season 2 of Still Dope, and hopefully we'll be after COVID, and we'll be able
Yes.
to not do it via Zoom, but do it like live and in person, and
definitely.
have you sing and have some drinks and
Then we
go
can
live.
clink our
and
glasses
we
together.
can clink our glasses and talk mad shit.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yes,
thank you
so
so much.
Shahida, take it away, Shahida.
Well, you know, that's it for us. You know, our Still Dope family. We do hope that you join us back in 2021. Again, a special thanks to Kim Tavar, because she was absolutely fabulous. And again,
Thank you.
a beautiful woman, but a beautiful spirit as well. And we should
Thank
have
you.
this up and running next week. And, you know, hope you listen to us on all of your social media platforms, Spotify,
Yes.
iTunes, and we'll see you guys in 2021.
Yes.
Bye, Still Dope.
Don't
fans.
hang up. Okay, yes. Don't hang up though. Let me stop.